Hey all, I wanted to show you a couple of things to get us set up for some custom shortcuts, because doing this is making your productivity faster. If you have a program you're used to using, just go into this program and set up the custom shortcuts so they're the same shortcuts if you want. Or if you come to a new company and they want you to use a certain program, if you can set up the shortcuts to what you're used to in here or wherever you work the most, it will be faster for you. The naming conventions are going to be different in different programs. So just, the idea is that what you expect it to do in your hands, just do short twitches and you're set off to go. When we get into ZBrush, it's even more important that we set up a custom UI. So we come in here and we say custom user interface. And you can set up some of this stuff to be standard and just export out or set up like Maya and stuff, but we aren't going to do that right now. So you have a few things you can choose from in here. Really, all commands is one of them, and we're going to change that in a second. But what we're looking for is to type in what we want it to do. And I put the list of what I use for my basic ones in here. And if I forgot any, I'm not sure. But the other ones I didn't list on over in the original homework file is the ones that are built in, the ones that I haven't changed. So I just listed the ones I've changed. So if I go to constrain, CONS, and I see constrain shape, and then you'll see constrain edge. Actually, I'm going to remove that one. Remove it. So if you have any that are being used in other places, then you don't want to use them that way anymore, then you remove them. So you come in here and I'll say number pad. This was something I discovered recently. This is to edit to not recently. This is for changing things to an editable polygon with a short, just putting the 0 on the keypad. That makes my life a lot easier. I'm going to use these constraints, but I found a editable poly version to do that. That's just a 1-button toggle, so that's perfect for me. Another thing that I do is display selected edge faces, and you'll see me do this all the time. It's just my Control-Shift-D. Here, let me pull this out. I do Control-Shift-D, so it just jumps on there, and it's only what I have selected. So if I have 2 of these and I move one off, I say OK, and then I say D. It's only going to be which one I have selected, which is what I like. That way it's not getting overly wireframed. Another one that I use is Control-Shift-S for save. And if I come down here to show, it's just like Photoshop or other programs do Control-Shift-F. So I just kind of went in here and made that the custom one. Another one I do is collapse, which is like, here, COLL. And I don't use the toggle with collapse. I just use the collapse poly. So if I come inside of here and I go to 2 and I grab this one and I can Control-Alt-X, I just collapse it. If I want a backspace to delete it. And then the other one I use is connect. So if I do connect, and we'll come to connect, no dialogue, I just Control-Alt-C. I use the same shortcuts, so that way I get used to it. I also use Control-Shift-E for export. If I'll do it up here, you'll see export selected. That's actually the same setup that is inside of Substance Painter, so it just happened to be a lucky coincidence when I did that one. The other thing is that some of the stuff, even though it says it's everything, is buried in here. So sometimes I'll jump over to, in this case, I'll jump over to editable polygon. And if I go to editable polygon and I say constrain here. So instead of having the 2 buttons, 8 and 9 that I just showed you I removed, I have this 1 button that does that. And what that allowed me to do is take this vert, for example, and I push 7. Now it turns on my constrain, and I can only go in the direction of the edges. I can't go up or anything. And then if I just push 7 again, it's off. So real quick things. This one's close to my hand for my keypad. I don't have to dive over here. I probably will eventually change backspace to be something more close to my my right hand as I use my left hand for the mouse. And a lot of these other ones are built in, and I've given you a list of the ones I use. I do want to show one more thing. Reset X form is a big one too. I'll just go back to all commands and say reset. Then I'll come down to X form, because I do this all the time. This is something you got to get used to. Another thing that I did that I want to show you is I've made it quads. And these are what's, when you right click, pops up over here. You notice I have this reset X form in here. That's not default, but it's everywhere in my commands now. So if I come up to here, you'll see that I have a list of all the things I have, and if I'm in a different menu, these things change. But the reset X form is right there. All I had to do is do reset X form and drag it over to there, and now I have it twice. Okay. So if you want to add a dot, you can just drag a dot over there. You can do all that, and then what you want to do is save your UI and save it in the overriding a personal oh, that's funny. So when you save your quads, they're different. I'm actually not going to save my quads, but if you save your quads as a different thing, you probably put it in the same place. But I go to keyboard and I say save, and I come over here, you'll see it's Melon UX, so I'm going to save over that one. And you can save this on your thumb drive. And then if you say save again, I'll go to my case. For your home system, you're going to go to your default keyboard and just save it. You can also save it just as the same name and reset to default anytime. And that's it. That's all I'm looking for. I just want you in here doing that kind of stuff, setting these shortcuts up, and that's the homework. And I'll talk.